What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video guys, I have several quite interesting updates. First of all, I will show you an update from Scott Roth in regards to his recall lawsuit. On top of that guys, I will explain you the price of $4,000 per share and how it can affect our case and from what point do we have this price. On top of that guys, I will show you the recap of all the lawsuits active and dismissed that we ever had on this case, and I will explain you in details how statutes of limitations might be implemented to our cases and what basically limitations we might have because of this rule. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section for whatever reasons you want. And let's start with this tweet that was published by Scott just several hours ago. And he made an update and he wrote this. I mentioned this case in the RAF podcast on September 19th. Those of you who really want to see what we are fighting against on a global scale should see this case for what it is. Elements of the US government, our alphabet agencies, and especially the US Department of State are actively soliciting mercenaries for information wars against the US people. Does it seem like it's all related? Of course it is. But you think FINRA and the SEC are captured by who they are to regulate and it's bad? It's much worse. Information operations, IOR, are a key component in the 5th generation warfare, and this case clearly shows the US Department of State has been captured by foreign powers and the domestic enemies that our founding fathers warned us about. One only has to look at the Russia collusion hoax involving DJT, the Jack Smith prosecutions, the NYC madness aimed at DJT, and of course the obvious coordinated assassination attempts on him, and it should all flow together. Remember what Martin Luther King Jr. said, "The truth shall set you free." So we are all free now, not just from watching the MMTLP fraud explode in real time before us, but in literally hundreds of ways. But nothing says it's better than this Texas case, whose lawyers supplied me with a copy of their brief to force the US DOS to stop destroying evidence. And guys, this is a very important point. Yes, this case is now a part of MMTLP history, and it's crucial. Recognize your strategic situation and act in a tactical fashion. What does that mean? It means picking even one small fight. Not just MMTLP, it's a street fight now in court, and it rests in my hands and the brain trust here available to me, and taking action. It means opening your mouth at select board or city council meetings, or taking on the walk lunatics and communists in everything but name only at every level. If you're a 35-year-old man or woman and you have no enemies because you've been silent and don't think you are up to it, now would be a good time to take a leap of faith and unload on the bad guys in some fashion. Get into the fight, see the no ground, wade into the fight with no fear, because just having the audacity to say no more carries its own weight. And once you're engaged brand X successfully, you can lead by example. Apologies for being long-winded here, but people ask, what can I do? And it comes down to being local. Just get it on with brand X in any way you can. So here's that case. And he added the link to the case that was given to him by Texas lawyer, one of the Texas lawyers. And here's this case, guys. You can read it by yourself. It was decided on May the 7th. And I have to say that it might be crucial in our case because of the fact that Schwab could intentionally destroy the evidence that might be very important in our case. So let me show you about the price of the MMTLP shares, the base price of MMTLP shares that I mentioned in my yesterday's video. And yesterday I showed you the update from Scott in regards to his RICO lawsuit. But here is the original tweet and the original letter to Schwab, where he mentioned, Scott mentioned about all the issues with the Schwab during this MMTLP saga. And let me quote to this. Demand letter based on Schwab and TD Ameritrade personnel admission that TD Ameritrade asked for the U3 nuke. U.S. Supreme Court challenge to FINRA actions and its very existence under West Virginia versus EPA, False Claims Act key term, proceedings against Ari Rubinstein for tax fraud in MMTLP. Other stocks counterfeited. Request for court-appointed special master to supervise 2 days of trading in MMTLP restart. Request for writ of mandamus against Gary Gensler to force a restart of MMTLP trading in trade to close out short positions only. And he added a couple of links and take a look right here. This is the original letter that was written by Scott on June 21st of this year, where he explains his conversation with the Charles Schwab representative. And here you can see what he stated. Let me show you. His name is Cameron Fleming, and he goes by Ron, as you can see. He stated that it was trading at 100 times the lit market in the dark pools, and people were crazy to think broker-dealers would pay out on that. And guys, he has evidence that Cameron told him about this, and this means if you multiply $2.9, the closing price of MMTLP shares right before the U3 halt on December the 8th, and if you multiply it by 100x, it will be exactly $290, which I mentioned in my yesterday's video. On top of that, as you can see, here is the link to the footnote under the number 5, and it says, orders were staging at TD Ameritrade and other broker-dealers from $298 to almost $25,000, and clear evidence exists that TD Ameritrade was accepting limit orders over $4,000 a share, meaning conceivably that MMTLP trading had detonated with a velocity akin to a nuclear weapon, and short squeeze of apocalyptic proportion was on like Donkey Kong. So guys, as you can see, $4,000 the price of the shares that was accepted by TD Ameritrade back in December of 2022. And this is where we get this number. And guys, you shouldn't be confused, because $4,000 it is not the price of shares that potentially we might receive as a recovery price for your shares that you hold on your books. It is just a starting point, and the real price when we see the rulings from the judge, the real price might be absolutely different. And guys, to be honest, I don't know the range of this price, and I don't know what the rulings might be. But for now, guys, this is just a fact that it was accepted by TD Ameritrade and was and had a status of too late to cancel. On top of that, take a look right here. Let me remind you that we have another community member, and I mentioned about his orders multiple times. Here's his Twitter account, Timeless Team, and you can find him easily on X. And let me quote you his recent update in regards to Scott Trott's tweet that he published just a couple of days ago. And he wrote, "Thank you all MMTLP experts for your brilliant efforts. I really like the Schwab math helping determine a minimum share price. I really like E-Trade math as well for some maximum highs when their time comes. About time for them all to find out how bad they have acted, preparing for the upcoming endgame early. Keep going, Scott." And here's the screenshots of Timeless Team account. And as you can see, he has an E-Trade account. And here's the limit order with the status of too late to cancel, with the price set on $200,000. And this limit order was set for 1,000 shares. And as you can see, too late to cancel status means, let me show you again right here. too late to cancel according to help center of E-Trade is following. The request to cancel is received and the order is no longer able to be cancelled. The order has already been executed or is in the process of executing. So definitely we have to see the explanation from E-Trade and from Schwab in regards to these numbers, but I think we might find it out only through litigations. And Scott is trying to pursue this goal, but for some reasons, and we don't know why, but Schwab allegedly deleted this evidence. So let's take a look on the next step of this saga. And again, in response to the tweet of Scott for the information related to TD Ameritrade or Schwab, StoneDoc wrote this: I have phone recordings of Schwab representatives saying they are waiting on FINRA to force close shorts and also waiting on direction from FINRA to force close shorts. And this means, guys, we have another evidence, another recording that might be added to the lawsuit of Scott with this information. And it is another extremely important part, and it is the fact that MMTLP community can help each other. Let me show you the response from Costas, and he wrote this: yes, sent to Scott, but that's been my whole point. FINRA halted the 2-day settlement process that was supposed to happen on December the 9th and December the 12th, and told everyone that was going to happen. They still have a settlement issue and brokers are still waiting for instructions to resolve, just like other hulls. They all resumed trading. And he added this list of U3 hulls that were implemented basically from 2012, 2009, as you can see. And the longest time to resolution, and this time is still ticking, is 638 days. And guess what? It is a Meta Materials, MMTLP shares. The second longest time to resolution was back in 2015 for Riviera Tool Company for 213 days. Other resolutions were made within just 1 or 2 weeks at most, as you can see right here. And this is another evidence that something's wrong with FINRAs and with their actions, and they are trying to kick this can down the road. And I will show you why they want to kick it for as long as possible. Let me show you first of all this tweet that was written by Sam IM. And she wrote it 12 hours ago. She wrote, MMTLP, legal threat 1 of 7, who is suing whom? And she added this list. First of all, Intercoastal versus TradeStation. Second lawsuit, Trot versus Schwab, Ari, GTS, and FINRA. Number 3, Targart versus NextBridge plus Burda. 4, NextBridge versus TradeStation. 5, Bartok versus NextBridge. 6, SEC versus Burda and Palikers. And she added not only the list of these lawsuits, but she refers to the update of these lawsuits, and she explained just in a brief couple of sentences the main idea of this lawsuit. So first of all, latest with TradeStation's MMTLP response to intercoastal waterways, great threat with everything you need to know. And she refers to the tweet that was written by Phoenix Tabloid, where he explains the most recent update on this case. Next one, latest with Scott Trott, pro se investor, not a lawyer, and Schwab, and lots of entities involved. Definitely she added the link to the Scott Trott's Twitter account. Next one, number 3. See amended class action by Todd Targart and group of NextBridge investors who are suing NextBridge and Burda for alleged fraud. Judge ordered all parties meet on Friday, September the 20th to determine timeline. Next one, number 4. NextBridge verified Rule 202 petition versus TradeStation. NextBridge not accusing TradeStation on wrongdoing, but purportedly trying to get info that might be relevant to current or future legal actions. Next one, number 5. Peter Bartok class action versus NextBridge. Not much info on this one. But again, investors suing NextBridge for damages related to misrepresentation of material fact. And guys, I've almost forgotten about this case, and we have to keep an eye on this case as well, because it will disclose whether NextBridge lied to every one of us in regards to the Orogrande Basin. Next one, number 6, SEC fraud complaint against George Palipers and John Burda and recent change of venue request. And Romain Supes also added the list of previous lawsuits that were dismissed. First of all, it is Steamroller versus OTC Markets. Next one, David Khorsani versus FINRA. Next one, Alan Hensley versus his broker. Next one, Richard Hoffman versus his broker. Next one, Alan Park versus somebody. And this was, in my opinion, if I remember it correct, the longest list of defendants. Next one, and basically it was the first lawsuit that was filed in MMTLP in regards to MMTLP saga. And it is Rosa Towel versus FINRA. Next one, John Taglitate versus Metamaterials. And probably it was more lawsuits, but they are not related to the U3 halt and illegal actions surrounding it. So definitely we can see these lawsuits, and in my opinion, and in opinion of some lawyers who are involved in this case, the litigation path is the most prominent path in this saga for now. On top of that, guys, I told you that I will explain you why we should be in a hurry to file as many lawsuits as we can. And take a look right here. Anna Trades wrote this tweet on June 22nd, and she pointed out to the statute of limitations. And take a look right here. Mark Basile responded to her tweet, and he explained in details what does it mean. So, MMTLP. Statute of limitation is 2 years from the date of the fraudulent act, or 5 years maximum. It depends when the courts will view new of the fraud, and there are some different tests applied differently by different circuit courts of appeals. But that SOL deals with securities fraud, buying and selling securities. Doesn't matter other fraud claims have 1 and 3 years under Securities Act, and those claims seem to have now gone past the statute of limitations. Like October 2021, listing the security on the OTC markets as an example. Also, do not conflate criminal RICO. The government has a very long window, 10 years, as long as 2 predicate acts were done within those years. Civil RICO is 4 years. I'm not even sure the 2-year window hasn't already closed, because the other side will claim the 2-year statute didn't run from the U3 halt. It likely began to run when either 1. Meta didn't take legal action to stop the trading in MMTLP initially, because it knew it wasn't supposed to trade and did nothing about it. Or 2. When Meta suspected the stock was shorted and didn't take action before the U3 halt. What the hell do you think I have been talking about for over 18 months? Many arguments are made in courts dealing with the statute of limitations. And there are a lot of tests and case law that do take different positions as to when it starts to run. If it can be argued successfully that the fraudulent act was somehow accrued on December the 9th of 2022, then guess what? Like Anna said, TikTok. However, the courts and the other parties will likely claim that act started earlier to seek dismissal for the claims under the statute of limitations. Good topic for Richard Hoffman to discuss. So guys, definitely we have this deadline, but let's take a look right here. RICO cases, RICO criminal cases have 10 years statute of limitations, and RICO civil cases have 4 years statute of limitations. And guys, it doesn't mean that we have to wait till the deadline of the statute of limitations. It means that we have to be in a hurry, because definitely we have to solve this problem as soon as possible. We don't want to have our money frozen. We have to see the resolution. That is why I'm pushing this case forward as hard as I can, and I encourage you to do the same by sharing this video with your friends and family, and please share it on every possible social media that you have. And this will attract more people to the case, and this will bring more attention, and potentially it might lead to the sooner resolution. And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad.